My head throbs with pain as my eyes slowly peel back. Where am I? I'm first greeted by harsh rays of light staring down at me like an unblinking, ever-watchful, judgmental eye. I flinch, turning my gaze somewhere else before I attempt to open them again. Through the pain, the blurred vision, and the spots, I look around. Not much to see. Everything is drowning in shadows, leaving every detail of my surroundings a mystery. But one thing is crystal clear. This isn't my home. What happened? Where's my son? Is he safe? Last I remember, he was staying at my sister's house, and I was at home, and then... I don't know. The only things I can see is the light above me and the edge of a wooden table. In the pitch, I can hear the faint sounds of cards being shuffled. And in the darkness, I can just barely make out the vague silhouette of a person seated across from me. They stop shuffling and sit there. They reach out an arm, and for a brief moment I see a gloved hand as it places a small speaker in the center of the table. I go to grab it, and for the first time I realize I'm cuffed to the wooden chair. Not just my arms, but both my legs as well. Where am I? Who are you? What do you want with me?
I think the answers to those questions are obvious.
Not from where I'm sitting.
Well, first, I have you literally and figuratively in the dark, so obviously I don't wish for you to know where you are. Secondly, I'm taking great measures to conceal my identity, so obviously I don't want you to know it. As for what I want, you'll find patience will lead you to that answer.
Why am I cuffed?
I'm sorry, Mr. Erickson, but I did not intend on spending our time together answering your questions. I'll be asking them.
Let me go!
I would love to.
Then do it!
Unfortunately, I have need of you, but I am not a cruel man.
He places the deck of cards on the table, and then leans back and reaches into his pocket, pulls something out and dangles them. They sound like keys, but I'm not sure. He shoves them back into his pocket before he takes the cards back in hand and resumes shuffling them.
I always planned on giving you a way to escape. I propose we gamble for your freedom. You win, you get a key.
That's all?
That's all.
And what do you get?
The simple pleasure of your time.
It seems too simple. There had to be a catch, but what other choice do I have? Yeah, deal me in.
I'm glad to see you're playing along, Mr. Erickson. We'll be playing blackjack.
He pushes a large pile of blue chips in front of me. What are those for?
Gambling, obviously. Though in our game, they represent keys, not money. Place your wager.
I take 4 chips and toss them into the center of the table. I'll get all 4 keys with one hand and be out of here. He deals out a pair of cards for the both of us. One face up and the other face down. The face up is the Queen of Clubs.
So, as a cyber threat analyst at such a large government agency, safeguarding so many of your country's most highly prized secrets must be such an immense responsibility. A weak-willed man would crack under such pressure. I wonder how you're holding up.
I should have known this had something to do with my job. So much for taking a safe desk job. I take a peek at the face-down card. It's a strain, and the chains tug a bit, but I'm just able to reach. It's an 8 of hearts. 18. My opponent has a 7 of clubs. Even if the face-down card was an ace, that would only put him up to 18. Worst case scenario, I'm looking at a push. And for all he knows, I could be holding a blackjack.
We are both widowers. Granted, we lost our loved ones to very different circumstances.
Is he stalling for time? He must have a horrible hand. This could be my chance at freedom.
Let's reveal our hands.
I flip my card, revealing my 8. He does the same, revealing a 7. 17 versus 18. I win. I'm free. The hand reaches out from the shadows and drops 4 keys on the table. I scoop them up as soon as they land. I try the first key. No good. The second. The same. Third. No change. Has to be the last one. It's not. But how? One of the keys has to work. I mean, I have all 4. Don't I? Then I realize how much of an idiot I was. How naive I'd been. I thought he only had the keys to the 4 cuffs. But in reality, you have more than 4 keys.
I don't recall ever telling you I didn't.
And most of them are fake.
It wouldn't be fun if they weren't.
How do I know any of them are real?
I guess you'll have to trust me.
As if I had a choice. My eyes drift off to my small pile of blue poker chips, and a thought races through my mind. How many chips do I have?
500.
And how many keys do you have?
1,000.
What happens when I run out?
The game ends.
And then?
I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I guess that depends on how well you cooperate.
So I could bet every single chip I have and still not win any of the keys?
It's more fun that way. Don't you agree?
For who?
Me.
What's the point of playing then?
A chance for freedom.
A chance? What chance? This game is so rigged against me, there's no way I could win.
And what chance does my country have at winning against yours?
Is that what this is all about? Is this the point he's trying to make? So obvious he's from one we're at war with. I wish that narrowed the list. It doesn't. I can think of 5 off the top of my head.
That's the difference between you and I. You lost your wife to a drunk driver. I lost mine to an airstrike. Where you still have your son, I lost mine the same time I lost my wife. The same day I lost my voice. And my face.
For the first time, he leaned forward out of the darkness. He wore a black mask, one devoid of any features, that covered every inch of his head. The eye holes were covered with dark lenses, making it impossible to see his eyes. Though, I presume, they allowed him to see out. I figured you used it to conceal your identity.
Let us not dwell on this for now. Let us continue our game.
I eye up the remaining chips on the table. I'll have to play this cautiously. I only get 46 chances. If I blow them, I'm sunk. And who knows what happens then. Can't calm my trembling hand as I grab 5 chips from the pile and toss them at the table. I imagine tossing them at my captor, but I fear the cuffs won't allow that. I doubt that would solve anything, though. He deals me 2 cards. My heart jumps into my throat. The face-up one is the ace of diamonds. I say a quick prayer that the face-down one is just as good as I reach for it. For a brief moment, my hand freezes before it. I steady my breathing and lunge for the card. It's the 8 of spades. 19 total. He has a 10 of hearts. His face-down card has me scared. If it's a face card or one of the 3 remaining aces, I'm lost.
You seem nervous. Do you wish to surrender the hand?
I'm not sure if he's being nice or sarcastic. The voice doesn't help me discern that. I stand.
As do I.
Damn! He didn't hit. We flip our cards over and I can feel every organ in my chest drop about a good 3 inches. He has a king of clubs. A total of 20. How do I know you're not cheating? You could be stacking the deck against me.
Yes. It's horrible when your freedom is being held from you by someone who does everything in their power to keep it out of your grasp. If only there was a way to leverage that. Perhaps you need a good luck charm.
I can hear him scrounging around in a bag for something. He grabs the 5 chips and replaces them with a stuffed sock monkey. I'm all too familiar with those. My son has one just like it. He carries it everywhere. Even took it with him when we went camping. He was so upset when he got that grass stain on its left leg. Funny, that sock monkey has a grass stain on its left leg too. Kinda looks like the one my son has. No, it looks the exact same. No, it doesn't just look like it. It's the same one.
You seem to recognize it.
My mind doesn't hesitate to jump to the worst possible conclusion. I can't panic. I have to play this smart. My son's life is on the line. First I have to figure out what he did to him, but without letting him know he's my son. Just in case he has him. Just the idea of this man having my son sends a wave of fear and anger to wash over me. I have to keep calm and pray my emotions didn't show. No, I've never seen it. What is it?
So you're saying this isn't the doll you got your son for his 4th birthday?
Like I'd remember every toy I got my son.
Make your bets, Mr. Erickson.
A part of me knows this is a pointless exercise. There's no way I'll be able to win the keys. Winning just one would be astonishing, but I can't stop. If there's a way I could save my son, even a small one, then I have to take it. I throw out 7 chips, and he throws back 1 face-up card, followed by a face-down card. And then another. And another. And another. And another? No. It was only one face-down card, followed by 4 pictures. My hands are trembling so much I could barely pick up the photos tossed before me. I managed to scoop them up and flip through them at a timid pace. They're photos of my son. First one of him waiting for the bus, then one of him at kindergarten, at the zoo with my sister and her son, then finally, one of him in a room, tied to a chair, gagged and blindfolded. They have him. They took my son. Where is he? Is he okay? No. Stay calm. I still have that backup plan. Pretend he's not your son. Act like you've never seen him before. If it works, I might be able to convince him he was mistaken in kidnapping him. And hopefully he'll let him go. Or at the very least, have no reason to hurt him. Who's this?
I highly doubt you don't recognize your own son.
Wow, you really messed up if you think that's my son.
Then why is he with your sister?
Probably a friend of her son's.
Why is he waiting in front of your apartment building?
I don't live there.
You're a terrible liar, Mr. Erickson. Did you forget that we've been playing cards? I figured out your tells. You know a subtle one, but once I found it, it's hard to miss. It's also hard to miss the man in the apartment window, or so I thought, so you overlooked him, or should I say, yourself. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the look of a concerned father, about to let his son out into the world. I should know. I saw it on my own face many times.
I didn't notice it the first time. I've been so focused on my son, but now that he pointed it out, I wondered how I didn't see it right away. Was that his plan this whole time? Get me to play this card game so he could learn to read my emotions? But through this whole thing, one thing never made any sense to me. Why?
Why what, Mr. Erickson?
Why are you doing this?
I don't want anything, Mr. Erickson. It's what the people I represent want.
And what do they want?
Simple. The occupation of our country by yours to end.
And what do they want me to do?
Information can be a very powerful weapon. As a cyber threats analyst, your job is to secure your government secrets. We reason that you could just as easily expose those secrets.
You mean hand them over to you?
All you need to do is leave way for our hackers to procure what they want for themselves.
I can't do that! If I'm caught leaking secret info, I'll be branded a traitor, I'll be sent to jail,
You would put your own well-being before the life of your own son.
You wouldn't dare.
He cried. A lot.
What do you mean? His gloved hand reached from the shadows and placed a small box on the table. I stared at it in silent horror, barely breathing for, I'm not sure how long, till my need to know what was in that box overcame me and I reached for it, but it was too far away.
Allow me.
My captor slowly removed the lid, revealing a small, severed finger. No, can't be. It's a trick. It has to be. It has to be. This is a trick.
What makes you so sure?
It has to be. You wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't?
We're a father. You know how much pain this can cause a man.
I do. But what of those who ordered the airstrike that killed my son? I often wondered if any of them were fathers. What of those who carried out the airstrike? Did they stop to consider what their actions might do? It didn't stop them. Yes, that's how I know it can be such an effective motivator.
Please, don't do this.
I don't want to. You can free your son, but first you have to help me.
No.
Please, Mr. Erickson, save him. Agree to help us.
I don't want to. But what choice do I have? If I wanted to see my son alive, I'd have to help them and succeed. Okay, I'll do it.
You agree to undermine the agency's security and leak your country's greatest secrets?
Yes.
Say it.
I
Say it exactly as I did.
I agree to undermine the agency's security and leak my country's greatest secrets.
And you do so willingly.
Yes.
I'm very disappointed, Mr. Erickson.
The lights flared to life, and for the first time I got a good look at my surroundings. I was in a white interrogation room. To my left was a see-through mirror, and to my right, an emblem painted on the wall. An emblem I'd recognize in a heartbeat. One I saw every day I went to work. The emblem of the agency. My captor removed his mask. His face wasn't scarred or burnt or anything.
I thought you'd be able to pass the test.
Test? What are you talking about?
We've uncovered a few moles in our midst at the agency. The higher-ups fear that others could be persuaded to abandon their loyalty, so they concocted this loyalty test.
A loyalty test? A loyalty test? You kidnapped me? You kidnapped my son just for a loyalty test? You hurt him just to test me?
We never kidnapped your son. He's still at your sister's house.
But the pictures!
A forgery.
And the finger? He pushed the box closer. I reached in and grabbed the finger. Fake. It's made of rubber. You tricked me! You can't do this! This is entrapment!
A fact that will be buried at your trial, Mr. Erickson.
My trial?
Yes. You're being arrested for treason. Also, your employment at the agency has been
You
terminated.
can't do this! You can't do this! You can't do this!
You'll find that we can.
Was it a lie?
What?
That you lost your wife and son in an airstrike?
Yes, it wasn't an airstrike. Car accident.
Funny. The agency tests our loyalty. But who tests the agency's loyalty? You know, one day the higher-ups might doubt your loyalty too. They might decide to test them.
They already did.
What do they want you to do?
Interrogate you.
Featuring the voices of Anthony Fleece, written and edited by Anthony Fleece. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, places, events, locales, and incidences are either the product of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental.